Well, this is an interesting development because at least one star associated with the previous iteration of X-Men, who was very vocal about returning as her character, has now said she's no longer interested in returning. This, of course, being Alexandra Shipp, aka Storm. So, if you guys remember, way back when Disney acquired Fox, and rumors already started to swirl that we would be seeing the X-Men in the MCU within a year, which of course wasn't true, and anybody with a brain could have debunked that. Hey, we did. She was the one that was the most very vocal, talking about the fact just because they are now owned by Disney and that Disney is more than likely going to reboot, that it doesn't mean that she will be recast. Obviously, we now know that in the multiverse and in Deadpool 3, a lot of former actors are returning, but it looks like not a lot of them are from the, well, I guess the sequel to Days of Future Past and that whole series, which ended with Dark Phoenix, and of course had X-Men Apocalypse famously. Remember that movie? Apocalypse wearing platform shoes? Yeah, those were the days. Anyways, though, she recently stated in a new interview with ET that she's not excited or even interested about a return, and that she hopes another actress can get the role that could make her career. And honestly, that's a really good answer. I'm glad that she's not out there stating one thing or another, being hateful, resentful, or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I thought she looked the part of Storm, and I would love to see her get a real attempt at playing that character. Unfortunately, she's associated with two of the worst X-Men films of all time, bar none. One of the worst Marvel films of all time, Dark Phoenix. And honestly, that would just bring up bad connotations and connections to the X-Men and those films if they were to bring her back. I truly do believe she could have made a good Storm had they cared about those characters, but they didn't. So ultimately, her time as Storm is probably going to be remembered as the worst, which is unfortunate because I legit do think she could have done a good job. And having seen her in other projects since then, she definitely could have been a good Storm. But that's not the way things went, so she will not be back. And what's your guys' take on this? Happy, sad, don't care? Give us a good version. That's the one I'm hoping for, so let's see what happens.